I should never have gone there. Hi everyone, it's Scott here from That's English School. 今回のテーマが後悔ですね。例えば、家を購入した経験のある方がわかると思うのですが、最初はマイホーム購入のために仕事を頑張ってるという人も多いではないでしょうか。しかし、実際マイホームを購入した人の中には、家なんて買わなければよかったと後悔している人もいます。その時に買わなければよかったを英語でさらっと言えたらかっこいいですよね。皆さんもそうだと思いますか？後悔イコール regret と思っていませんか？実は regret は日常会話であんまり使わないです。もちろんその状況によって使う時もありますよ。後悔を英語で表すといろんな言い方があります。regret より全然いいと思います。なんでそんなにたくさん言い方があるんでしょうかね。今からそのトップ10を紹介したいと思います。So let's see how the language is used. I promise you won't regret it. Here's the lesson lineup.Okay, let's take a look at the first one. I wish I had plus past participle. I wish I hadn't plus past participle. I wish I had brought an umbrella. My hair's going to be just one giant frizzball. So, to have frizzy hair is when your hair just explodes because of the humidity and the weather, that kind of thing. Fortunately, I don't have that kind of problem.I wish I hadn't drunk so much at the party last night. I have the hangover from hell. Unfortunately, again, I'm all too familiar with this one. Number 2, I should have plus past participle. I shouldn't have plus past participle. I should have explained the homework better to my students. They didn't have a Scooby about how to do it.So if you don't have a Scooby about something, it means you don't have a clue. You have no idea how to do something. And by the way, this is Scooby-Doo. It's a British way of speaking, especially in London, called Cockney rhyming slang. Here are some well-known examples. Scooby-Doo is clue. Apples and pears, stairs. Rosie Lee, tea.Bees and honey, money. I shouldn't have made that terrible comment about my mother-in-law's cooking. She wasn't too happy. I guess I'll have to try and keep my big mouth shut from now on. Number 3, plus ing was the worst decision of my life. Not plus ing was the worst decision of my life. Getting married to you.was the worst decision of my life. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Sounds pretty serious, right? Not getting married to my ex-boyfriend was the worst decision of my life. So in this case, we're using the negative not plus ing to make it a negative statement. Not doing something was the worst decision in my life. On a happier note, you can also use it in a good way. Getting married to my husband.was the best decision of my life. Lovely. Now that's the kind of thing we want to hear, isn't it?
Ha! I am fighting for the freedom of our people. Victory will be glorious. Do I have any regrets? No. A man like me never has any regrets. Now you mention it.I wish I had married my childhood sweetheart, Isabella. Oh, Isabella. I should not have listened to my mama. She is overprotective, you know. Isabella, nice. Of course, I love my mama with all my heart, but Isabella was special. Yeah, not getting married to her was one of the biggest mistakes in my life.Oh, it is Mama. Ciao, Mama. Hello.
Zorro, when are you coming home?
I am fighting for our freedom. It has no time limit.
I'm getting a pizza delivered. Do you want some?
Pizza, you say?
Yes, it's your favorite.
Okay, freedom can wait. I'll be home by 6. Okay, bye. Love you. Mama's getting pizza for dinner. Oh, freedom can wait.
Let's move on to number 4. Deciding to plus base verb was the biggest mistake I ever made. Deciding not to plus base verb was the biggest mistake I ever made. Deciding to join this company was the biggest mistake I ever made. So maybe you've said something like this, maybe to one of your co-workers or maybe your husband or wife. I hope you've never said it to your boss. And remember, in English, we don't say enter a company. We use the expression join a company. Deciding not to get the operation was the biggest mistake he ever made. So this sounds like a very serious situation and is a perfect example of how this structure should be used. Number 5, why the hell did I? Plus base verb. Why the hell didn't I? Plus base verb. Why the hell did I agree to make a speech at my best friend's wedding? Have you ever been there? You agreed to do something and then afterwards you really wish you hadn't. Why the hell didn't I double check the time of the meeting? I was late and my boss was furious. So to be furious means to be super angry, really angry. Also, if you want to make it a little softer, you can change hell to heck. Why the heck didn't I call my mom on Mother's Day? I'm such a terrible son. Number 6, if only I had plus past participle. If only I hadn't plus past participle. If only I had bought a family car. My sports car is so impractical now that we've got 2 small kids. So I'm sure this happens to a lot of people. As your family grows, so does the need for a bigger family car. If only I hadn't sold my shares in Apple, I completely underestimated how big they would eventually become. So to underestimate something is when you don't rate something as big as you think it really is.
Never underestimate the opposition.
Hey John, make sure those plates are perfectly clean. Cheers, thanks. The restaurant business has been pretty rough the past couple of years, and those government handouts, well, they just didn't cut the mustard. Deciding not to offer a takeout service was one of the biggest mistakes I made. I don't mean to brag or anything, but restaurants like these, upmarket restaurants, don't usually do that kind of thing. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. Why the hell didn't I just swallow my pride and make them? If only I had gotten into the upmarket lunchbox market, then I wouldn't have had to lay off 2 of my wonderful new chefs. They were very talented as well. Well, you live and learn. It's time to check out number 7. What was I thinking when I? Plus simple past. In this structure, there is no negative form. What was I thinking when I had those 2 pieces of apple pie with extra ice cream? Guilty as charged. What was I thinking? What was that idiot thinking when he got behind the wheel after drinking 2 bottles of wine? So we often feel this way when we see a really terrible news story about some idiots out there in society who did a terrible, careless thing. To get behind the wheel means to drive. Also an interesting one, in English we don't call this the handle, we call it the steering wheel, sometimes shortened to just wheel, to get behind the wheel. Number 8, I'll never forgive myself for, plus ing. I'll never forgive myself for not, plus ing. I'll never forgive myself for losing my wedding ring. It's one of those things you should never, ever do. So this is not a story about me personally, but it did come up in one of my English classes recently. She'll never forgive herself for not noticing her neighbor was being physically abused by her husband. So this is a pretty powerful statement. And of course, to be physically abused means to be punched, kicked, something which hurts. Number 9, if I could do it all over again, I would plus base verb. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't plus base verb. If I could do it all over again, I'd definitely try harder in school, especially in English. I'm sure we all feel this from time to time. In this case, it is referring to life in general. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't worry so much about what other people think of me next time round. I think this is one of the biggest things that holds people back from pursuing their passions.
This is me!
Number 10. Now I know that plus ing was a bad idea. Now I know that not plus ing was a bad idea. Now I know that dropping out of school was a bad idea. To drop out of school means to leave school before actually graduating. Now I know that not brushing my teeth after every meal in my childhood was a bad idea. Now, let's have a review. It's homework time. Okay, today I'm going to give you a special question about a scene earlier in the video. It's the English in Action section with Zorro. Do you remember that part? Okay, so the question is this. What was one of the biggest mistakes in Zorro's life? Okay, so put your answer to this question down in the comments below and I'll read them and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you've never tried the homework, go ahead. It's a good way to get to know each other. Okay, good luck. The next video for you is this one right here. It's about tired of versus tired from. What's the difference? You're going to have to watch this video to find out. I'll see you over there. Let's go.
Ha ha!